it's time to finally bench Andrew Wiggins. This comes just a week after Steve Kerr told media that he's actually open to the idea of playing different lineups throughout the regular season. And in my opinion, I don't think Wiggins should be in that starting lineup. But we're going to break it down on today's show. I am your host of Warriors Today, Allie Barefoot. Producer Rolly's right here to my left. And before we get into it, I want to ask you guys a question. Do you think Andrew Wiggins should spend more time on the bench to start these next few Warriors games? Just go on ahead and like this video for me if you do agree that Andrew Wiggins should be on the bench. And why I bring this up is because Moses Moody and Jonathan Kuminga have been popping off these past few games. If you look at their actual last three games, you got to remember Wiggins didn't play either game against the Clippers. So his last three games does include when he played the Kings and dropped 29 points. But JK's right up there with him, 14.3 points per game, nearly the same amount of rebounds per game. And look at his field goal percentage. I'm loving that 60.3%. And Moses Moody is also starting to try to find his rhythm right now. Now, I'm not saying either of these players are better than Wiggins. Not at all. I'm just saying if Steve Kerr is actually going to try out different players in the starting lineup, why not try out JK and Moody? Well, if you look at Andrew Wiggins' stats right here, 12.6 points per game throughout the season. Look at the three-point percentage, guys, 27. And his field goal percentage is not the best either, 42%. And when you look at these numbers, they're not flashing on paper. This is not the player that Warriors fans have seen Wiggins be. He's actually shooting a career-low three-point percentage right now in this season, and he's at his second lowest field goal percentage. I just don't think this is a Wiggins that Steve Kerr has trusted throughout the years. And he even said that. He said, I want Wiggins in the starting lineup because it worked for us last year. That's fine, Kerr, but it's not working anymore. What is working? Moses Moody. I think he's really got that stay-ready mentality. He's been coming off the bench, and he's been lighting up the Warriors, putting a spark under them, shooting threes to put the lead in front. And I think Moses Moody has been a game changer. They're actually 3-1 this season when Moses Moody is starting. He's only started 4 games so far, so I'm hoping that number goes up. Because if you look at his stats for the past year, 8.5 points per game, that's fine. You got other shooters on the floor. Rebounds per game, nearly 4. His field goal percentage is great. His three-point percentage is not that good for Moses Moody, but look, you got Steph Curry on the floor. You don't really need Moody's three-point shooting. What I'm looking at here is the defense. I love the way that Moses Moody plays defense. He's a great interior defender. He can also go on the perimeter if needed. When you look at the three players here and their defensive rating, Andrew Wiggins has the worst one out of the three. And to be honest, he's actually one of the worst on the Warriors. And if we're taking a deeper dive, Klay Thompson has the worst defensive rating for the Dubs so far this season. And Wiggins has 116.9. That's a big jump from Moses Moody. And Wiggins actually plays about 6 minutes more than Moody. So I can tell he's out there for longer, but I think Moody's a little bit more effective when he does finally get some playing time. Because did you know that opponents are currently shooting 38% from the field when Moses Moody is guarding them? And there's 37% from the three when Moody's on him. Now, I said he can be interior or perimeter. I like him a little bit better down low. I think he's got a lot of height. He's got more girth than I think that somebody like Wiggins can provide. So I think he's a good complement to Draymond Green and Kevon Looney. And obviously, opponents are struggling to shoot against Moses Moody. That's what you want. So, do you guys think Moses Moody should be getting more minutes on the court? Maybe more than Andrew Wiggins? Maybe more than somebody like Jonathan Kuminga? Just go on ahead and type A for agree and type D for disagree if you think Moses Moody should be playing a little bit more for the Warriors than he is right now. While you guys are hanging out down in the comment section, I'm going to break it down and tell you guys about Factor Meals. It is a great, fresh, never frozen meal service. I use it. I know Rolly uses it. Why? Because we're treating ourselves to high-quality, delicious meals, especially over the holiday time. You can choose from 35 different chef-crafted meals every week that support a healthy lifestyle, dietitian approved. It can be calorie smart, vegan and veggie, or even if you want to bulk up and get a little bit more protein in your lifestyle. You can actually choose from quick breakfast items as well. I actually started my day today with the Factor Mango Smoothie, and it was the best thing I've had so far. It is fully packed with a full coconut's worth of hydration. They also have lunch to go, grab and go snacks, and they just make your life so much more convenient. No more meal prep, no more fuss. These meals are ready in less than 2 minutes, and they're delivered right to your door. All you have to do is go to factormeals.com/dubschat50, and you're going to get 50% off. One more time, that's factormeals/dubschat50. Use promo code dubschat50 to get 50% off your Factor meals. Now it's time to break down Jonathan Kuminga. I've seen it. I know you guys have seen it. JK is really starting to find his rhythm after a shaky start to start the season, but overall, Wiggins isn't finding his rhythm, nor is Klay Thompson as much as JK is right now. But there's a specific area where JK seems to be popping off. Per Steve Kerr, he says the last 2 games he's been around the rim. It's one of the things we've been trying to help him with, leveraging his athleticism, his power, his strength by getting closer to the rim. And he's rolling rather than popping, relying more on the force of his cuts and working out on the dunker spot, making himself available to catch and go right and finish. Now, if you look at JK through the last 19 games, you can clearly see he's being more efficient towards the rim. Like I said, you got Steph Curry, you got Klay Thompson. You don't really need another three-point shooter like somebody like JK. So when he's going up against the rim, you see that less than 10 feet, that's amazing effective field goal percentage right there. Nearly 57%. I'll take that all day long. Obviously, his pull-ups aren't the greatest, but defended 2 to 4 feet. When there's a defender right on him, hand on his hip, he can get that shot up nearly 55% of the time. And that is a stat I'd rather have on the mid-range jumper than somebody like Wiggins who will take 3 for 11, and I don't know what's going to fall. So overall, I like the way he takes his shots, and I like that he can go head-to-head with a defender right there on him. Because, look, he's finding his role. But the main thing here is that we know Steve Kerr doesn't play young. JK and Moody are young. Wiggins isn't. So I don't think they're getting enough time to actually find their rhythm and their confidence. Like when Moses Moody is popping off, going 6 for 6, and you take him out of the game. That's going to hurt a player, especially a younger player. But that's Kerr's call and whether or not he's ever going to get out of his veteran mentality. Because there's another thing the Dubs have been struggling with this season, last season, the season before that, turnovers. They just had 28-29 against the Thunder the other night. And when you look at who's making the most turnovers out of these 3 players, it's Andrew Wiggins. 2 turnovers per game. He had 6 against the Thunder the other night. Steve Kerr said, we can't win when you have 6 turnovers. Moody doesn't have 2 turnovers a game. Jonathan Kuminga, he's a little bit more up there, but still not 2 turnovers. So the guys are being more efficient. Once again, they don't play as much, about 6-7 minutes less than Andrew Wiggins does, but they're certainly not turning the ball over when they do finally get it in their hands. The Warriors are ranked 27th out of 30 teams for worst turnover ratio in the NBA right now. I know it. I see it a lot. It frustrates me every time I turn on my TV. But when you have somebody still in the game like Wiggins who turns it over and you got JK and Moody on the bench, it might be time to sub somebody out. So, if I had it my way and I was paid Steve Kerr's salary and Mike Dunleavy was my best friend, this is who I would want to see on the floor the most. I would have Moses Moody averaging at least 22 minutes per game. Really try to help him find that rhythm down low in the interior to really help out against bigger teams. Jonathan Kuminga, I'd let him average 26, especially right now when he's playing the best basketball he's played all season long. And Andrew Wiggins, I would do averaging 25 minutes per game. He's still very effective. He had 29 points against the Kings the other night, and he can be great. But if he's not doing well, get these guys more minutes. It seems simple enough. So why isn't Steve Kerr doing it? I think JK, the reason why I gave him more minutes than these 2 players, I think his athleticism is just better. I think it's better for matchups. I think Andrew Wiggins has had some mismatches this year that's really hurt the Warriors, especially with blown leads. So I think when you have somebody like JK who can really shoot well against opponents and also is a nice shot contender, why not? Why not put the more athletic kid out there? He's younger, he's got fresher legs, and he's obviously has that stay-ready mentality. So Steve Kerr, you got nothing to lose at this point. You're 10-12. Start somebody else. How many minutes would you want to see Jonathan Kuminga, Andrew Wiggins, Moses Moody play? Do you think Moses Moody should be playing more than Andrew Wiggins or vice versa? Let me know down in the comments what you would like to see these players playing every night for the Warriors season. And like I said, you guys do not go unnoticed here. Thank you so much for taking your time out of your day to hang out with me and Rolly on the Warriors Today channel here at Chat Sports. I told you last video, new subs are getting a shout out, and here they are. I want to give a shout out to these 5 people. Of course, there were a lot of subs, but I just picked some at random. You got Micah, I got Lee, I got What's Up Climber, Barracuda King, and I got Caroline. Thank you guys so much for hitting that sub button. I hope you guys don't regret it. And be sure, if you haven't already, hit that sub button for me because the Warriors and the Phoenix Suns are playing tonight. Everybody is good to go except for Gary Payton on the Warriors injury report. Kevin Durant's out, but Bradley Beal is not. That's a matchup you guys are not going to want to miss out. You can see these records right here. Clearly, this win is a must against the Phoenix Suns in Phoenix, Arizona. So, I need you guys to do me a favor. Hit that like button if you want the Warriors to get a dub against the Phoenix Suns tonight. This is a big game for the Warriors and could potentially be pretty transitional to see who starts tonight. So go ahead and hit that like button for me.